Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week. It's TimeBlazr Tuesday. We broadcast every Tuesday to have you help plan out your week using the energetic calendar called the TimeBlazr. It's personalized to you. Each calendar is unique to each individual user, but I'm going to walk you through the week on how I actually use the TimeBlazr, but I'm also going to help you try to really start bringing some flow back into your life. Now, I'm going to warn you up front that I am going to be on here for about 25 minutes to a half an hour. There's a ton of resources that I'm going to tell you about that can get you to other ways of finding out this information through my channels. So you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and they're all different shapes and forms. So I just want you to get this information. It's absolutely free. I will let you know about certain things that are coming up. I've got an important event. Again, it's a free event to help you get things done and also really to get some opportunities back into your business. So today is going to be, because I'm talking about the entire week, and for you to even understand what I'm talking about, you have to understand the system a little bit. So there's a little bit of free training in there for you as well. All right, let's head on over to the week we're going to be talking about, October the 14th through the 20th. And the reason that I'm talking about Wednesday instead of Tuesday on TimeBlazr Tuesday, some of my clients live in Europe and they're different areas of the time zone that I'm at. So I don't want you to miss any of the good times. So that's why we are talking about Wednesday through the following Tuesday. If you want to know more about today, being Tuesday, the day of this recording, go back and listen to last week's TimeBlazr Tuesday. All right, the first thing I'd love for you to do, especially if you are new to me and my channel, is to subscribe. So the one way that I can deliver this to you is if we help each other to spread this information. So otherwise, I'm going to have to start charging for it. So I'd love to give this away for free if I can. Okay, so with that said, you know the drill. Subscribe. Go ahead and like. If you really like what you're hearing today, we would so appreciate your comments. That really helps me to know if I'm best serving you. And then, of course, share this content out. Ring that bell if you are listening to me on certain channels. And then otherwise, just sit back and pay attention. But what I'd love for you to do is pull out your calendar. What are you using right now as your calendar system? Is it personalized to you? Well, the TimeBlazr can be or is. So there's a link below that you can go right now, get that TimeBlazr and get it working for you right now. Now, why would you even use favorable timing? And that's really what the crux of this whole system is about. Now, it goes also under the umbrella. Let me show you just this next slide here. It goes under the umbrella of this, what's called the Cosmic Trinity, person, space, and time. So when we look at this model, if you will, that when you look at your astrology, it's 33% of the picture, your Feng Shui is 33%, and then timing is 33%, which in other words says that you have 99% control over your life. Well, I don't know about you. I know that there was some control lost at the beginning of the year, which I talked about at my annual event. Get prepared for this. You're going to be doing things very differently than you have in the past. So you may want to start looking at doing everything that you do a little bit differently. So if those of you who attended my event last year and followed my advice, congratulations, you are probably faring a little bit better. But let's face it, it's been tough for everyone. And people who tell you that it hasn't, then I don't think they're living the reality or getting what they need to learn from this past 8 or 9 months that we've been in this vibration. But what we want to do is help you get back on track. So that's how I feel that you can, yes, look at your astrology, see what's there, and that might be downgraded a little bit because of the annual energies that are coming in. And it's going to happen over the course of your life when these annual energies come in, that it's going to either augment your chart, make it better, or it's going to downgrade it, and you're going to have some challenges. So you could be be on either side of the board. And I'm going to explain what different parts of your chart mean in just a second. But then there's also the space. Now I'm doing a separate YouTube live that is going to be addressing this space, and that's concurrently going on. So you're going to see me a little bit later today again. But what I want you to understand is your astrology may not be perfect, and your space that you're working and living in may be less than perfect, especially with this disruption, with everybody going back into our nests, our homes, and then we don't have the same rhythms that we had just 9 or 10 months ago. That's gone. So we need to start looking at our space as well. So that is an important piece that I want you to watch as well. But what I want to point out is what you have 100% control over is time. You can choose, you may not think so, but you may, when you start thinking about it, if you start planning the way that I'm suggesting you plan, yes, there's going to be things that are going to get in the way of every perfect plan. Why? Because nothing is perfect. These are tools that can help bring rhythm and flow and balance back into your life, to the ability that you're willing to be flexible to use the system. Okay? So the tools are there. Is it a tool that you can benefit from? I believe it is. I have based my entire career on. I've been in business for over 20 years, and I know that timing is, if you have control of your calendar, but if you have control of your energetic calendar, which means you have control over you, then that is a very different way of looking at how you spend your very precious time. Can you believe it's October? I mean, come on. It's just craziness, right? Okay, so let's see what we can do to bring the best out for you in this particular month. Let's head on over to the TimeBlazr and let's get started. So this is the month of October. We're going to spend a little bit of time on this particular chart here. So first of all, what you can see, it's the month of October. The month of October actually started on the 8th in the Chinese calendar, which the system is based on. The calendar starts either anywhere from the 3rd all the way up to the 8th of every month. So this month it started on the 8th. And with that said, it's going to go all the way into the 7th of November. Now, there's a lot going on this chart right here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start showing you some of the filters, and go to the very middle top where it says none. You're going to see all none in PDF. So go to none. Let's just take those icons out just for a second here. Now, this is what we've got as a base calendar minus the stars. And the base calendar, what I'm trying to relay to you right now, there is a foundational piece that's going to be for everyone's calendar. I'll show you in just a moment what we do to personalize the calendar for you, so that you don't need to hire a date selection or a favorable timing expert. This system will do it for you. Okay? All right, so the first thing that I want you to see is that we have some green days, and we also have what we have is some days that are void of color, or white days. Now, on the green days, they are going to hit a certain formulaic energetics that is going to get it to that level of green, which means good. We love it. And when it hits below that, that's when the days get unstable. Now, let's face it. We will start seeing things that are going to happen in our lives. And then you look at the calendar and was like, oh, if I didn't know that beforehand, I would have been able to modify my behavior. This is such a great blessing to be able to have, so that you can start planning things out. Now, let me be very clear. What I do is for business. Now, you can use this. As a matter of fact, I got married on an auspicious day in time. And so this was taking two partners. So you can do this with business as well, right? You take two partners, you look at their astrology and find the best day to suit them so that the business runs smoothly. What else can you use the TimeBlazr for? To do launches. This is one of the main reasons I created this system. As a woman in business, I also wanted to have a competitive edge because there's a lot of noise out there, right? I don't care what you do. There's always someone out there that may not even be as good as you, but they're making a lot more money than you because they have a bigger budget, right? Well, let's even the playing field here. Expertise with what you are presenting, right? So if you've got a program, service, product launch, if you are an author and want to write a book and get it launched and get the notoriety that, it took you a long time to write that. It's also great for if you are doing any type of activity that you want to get the visibility, this is going to help you do this. The TimeBlazr is that personalized system where you put all your efforts into your expertise and then you leave to the rewards coming through for you to get them by launching them on a good date and time. All right, so we now know that there is a baseline, and that's what you see. For everyone, it's the same day of the week. For everyone, it's either going to be a green day or white day. And then the types of days, there's 12 different types of days. So on the 14th, you can see it's a stable day, then it's initiate day. I'm going to talk about that when I talk about the day view. Let's just stay on this month view here for just a second. Now, you're also going to see that there is a star system that is integrated into this particular system. And the stars are also saying that we have, again, astrologically connected the calendar with you. And it's going to be 5 stars, regardless if it's green or white, 5 stars that it connects with you, with the animals in your chart and the animals and energy of the TimeBlazr. Okay, so then we start looking at anywhere from 5 being the highest and then 0 being the lowest. Rarely are you going to see a 0 day, but there are going to be times when it's going to be that way. All right, let's go back now to the TimeBlazr. And I want to first look at your business astrology, because I think that's important for you to understand that there's a lot going on this astrology chart. And all I want you to be looking at right now is the year, month, day, and hour of birth. Let me explain those pillars because they're important to understand. When we're helping you to launch something, we want to make sure that you're launching it on a good day for the activity that you are doing. So if it's about your year of birth, it's going to relate to basically your advertising, your marketing efforts. It could be anywhere from print, which is kind of going out of trend because it just is, because digital is the way to really get your voice out there. So it really needs to be a high level, but it could be in the form of podcasting, video, you could any of the platforms that are out there, but you choose whatever the way it would be best for you to get your message out. I would say a combination, because people are searching all over to find information about what you have to offer. Now, it also could be a blog for that matter as well. So there's all different ways in which you can get your marketing message out. And then how far of a reach will you have? That's going to be determined by your year of birth. Now, it's also about your networking efforts. And, believe it or not, you can network around the world right now because of this. So the disruption has helped in some industries to get further out. For example, I'm in a program, I live in Northern California, and I'm in a program that is offered in Australia. Why? Because I don't have to physically go to Australia. I can actually do a lot of the work online. And I'm working with people all over the world because of this. Okay, well, I had clients internationally before, but it is certainly helping that reach much more now because of the internet. So hello to you out there that I have gained since we have met each other during this time of COVID. Okay, so now the month of birth is going to be about your career and your character, what you're best suited at doing. Your day of birth, so important. I love this pillar, and I want you to cherish it as much as I want you to cherish it. And that is because it's about you. And all of it is about you. But this one is about your personal growth, your personal development. It's about your mindset. I want you to continue to develop that you are worthy, you are enough, and that this is all going to start working out in a positive way for you. But it has to start with you believing it. If you don't believe it, it's going to be very hard for you to achieve it. Okay? Now, your hour of birth on your astrology chart, this is about your, it is about your brainstorming, if you will. So this is about your research and development, and it's about your legacy and life purpose. This is so important that I really want you to start thinking about. I think many of us, and especially if you're a certain age, if you're a very young person, I mean, you're like in grade school or something like that, primary school, you don't think about your mortality. But I think if you are a mature adult plus 18, 19 years old, I believe that you're seeing the severity of this and that the different various precautions that you need to take. Well, the older you get, the more mortality is coming, more front and center, right? So we really need to, what is our legacy? What are we on the face of this earth to do? So that's something that I want you to really start considering. But I realize also not everybody knows their hour of birth. But you did find out quite a bit in the year, month, and day of birth. Now, you take that information, and that's why I'm saying you can strategically start choosing a good day and time based on what you're trying to accomplish. All right, let's say that we are looking to move. Maybe we had to move out of an office and back into, and then maybe we're going to either buy or sell a property. Let's do that this week, just to switch it up a little bit. And let's say we're going to negotiate a price, right? I'm also going to put in this do not meet, no meetings on this day, because I think it's also important. And then I'm going to also put in sign the contract. So this is obviously, we're going to be talking about looking at, someone making a move. Now, when we came up with these icons and these activities, it was something that we figured would happen over the course of a year, a quarter, a month. And so let's just have a look at it. So where you look on that is you hit selected, what you selected, and then you can start seeing what you've got here. So between the 14th and the 20th, there are some opportunities there for this person. Yours will look different for this person to actually start maybe negotiations on a new office space, or moving out of the office space and taking everything remotely back home. So as you can see, this can be very helpful for that. All right, let's start looking at the day views now. Going into the 14th, here's where we're going to get started. So I'm going to talk about what is general first, and then what are the personalizations after. So first of all, same day for everyone, the 14th of October, and for everyone, it's an excellent stable day, and it is a Yang Metal Tiger day. So for this particular box, what we're looking at when we look at the type of day, it's a green day, so all of those colors are going to come over from the month view to the day view. And then we also have 3 different types of vibrancy when it comes to the days. For the green days, they're either going to be a fair, a favorable, or an excellent day. Excellent being the highest of them all. So that's where we're going to be also making our selections. When we're making our decisions, we always want to use a green day. This is for an important decision. I'm going to be launching something. I'm going to be making a strategic move. Green days, highest stars, the type of day for the activity that I'm doing, and then if that has the icing on the cake with sprinkling of those activities with those icons, great. Then you're on the way to choosing the right day. Now we have to choose, we've selected the day, now we have to choose the right hours. All right, so what we've got here is we've got a couple of things, and I'm going to take a little bit more time on the first day and then speed it up because it's going to be similar information. If I see something pop out, I'll certainly let you know. All right, so this is a stable day. We know that for certainty that you can start something on a very stable day. This is great. So this is like, oh, I'm going to see if I can launch something on this if I was this person, because it's a high star, great for the icons, and it's a very good day. Now, the next piece of information is the positive and negative influences. Now, this and the daily intention. We're going to talk about all three of those right now. The positive and negative influences prevail over the entire day. So I have to take note of that. So that's something that I would want you to make sure you know about. And then on the positive influences, there's a teal color box. That box is indicating that you've got something very quick that's going to happen that day. So can you imagine, launching something on that day with a quick action? That's where we're going to really get our best outcome by doing that. Okay, now, then we also have below we have our daily goal or daily intention. This is something that I really encourage you to do every single day. If nothing else, when you're setting your day out, like today, I need to shoot a video for the revamp of my website. So today is a day today being the day of I'm recording, if I get nothing else done today, even though I'm doing some other things like this and another video for YouTube, I must get that done for me to feel successful. Everything else, yes, it's great. I would love to get those done as well, but that's a priority for me. So I'm going to find a good hour between the days today, because that's where the vibrancy is going to be the most benevolent for me. So that's how I'm going to be using that as well. Okay, let's get back to the calendar here. And let's look at, again, we're still looking at general information right now. And then we're going to look at the hours, and that we've got that gray column. It says rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, etc., etc. Those are a repeatable pattern that they're going to repeat every single day. And then I've put under the name of the hour, I've also put the time frames. Notice that they're 2-hour time slots. So it's still a 24-hour day, but it is in 2-hour time slots. Then the next column, let me go back over there. The next column are ingredients that will tell you the energy of any particular hour. Please remember, you need to bring over the positive and negative influences. And the positive on a positive day will certainly have a really they start really kind of knocking out the negative ones, but you still need to take caution here. Okay, now the hours themselves are going to show up in 3 different ways. One, they're going to show up where it's all positive. So take note of the ox hour, the dragon, and the snake, and then the late rat hour. So let's just look at the dragon, which is 7 to 8:59 a.m. As you can see, it's got a blue-green question and a plus. By the way, all of these terms are in standard business English. If English is not your first language, you may need to go over to the guidebooks to look those up. But it's a good question. Ask good questions, you're going to get good answers. Just think very high level on this. Don't make it so complicated. But if you are that type of person which wants more details, we've got them for you. Just go head on over to the guidebook, which is basically at the top go into the training area, and then you just go into the guidebook area, or guidebook number 3. That's where you can find that out. Okay, let's get back over to the day. I just clicked on strategic dates and it took me right back to where I was before. All right, the second way you can see those hours showing up is, let's look at the horse hour, 11 a.m. to 12:59 p.m. We've got both the pluses and then the red minuses. So that's just saying that the information in that particular hour and other hours as they come along is mixed energy. You're going to get some stable and you're going to get some unstable. So you're going to get both there. So you got to watch what you are selecting there. Then the last way that they're going to show up is, let's have a look at the rabbit hour between 5 and 6:59 a.m. where you see pettiness and the minus. It's going to be pure challenging energy. So I would stay away from that, although it's very early in the morning as well. I would stay away from that. All right, now let's talk about how this is personalized. So first of all, the stars from the month view come over, so we can see this is a 4-star day for this particular person. The icons for this person come over as well. Now, what also comes over are being able to choose with confidence the hours, because those are personalized as well. So when you look over, like next to the components of the hours, you're going to see anywhere from 0 stars, even though, so don't confuse that just because there's good energy there that it connects with you. It's still good energy. It just may or may not connect with you. That's why you need your personalized calendar. So in this particular case, the dragon hour is neutral astrologically to the hour, not what's inside, not the good question. It's the hour doesn't connect with this particular person. But the snake hour does. It connects between 9 and 10, because we have a 1 star there. So we're saying, okay, anywhere from 1 being the lowest and 3 being the highest. So you may say, okay, but I want a 3-star hour. Well, you could obviously use this, but what did I say before? If it has red and minuses in there, you're going to start having not the outcome you want. So you're going to have 2 choices. Well, maybe more. Here's the choices I would use. Use green days, highest stars with green hours or plus hours only to do that important launch. The rest of it, use for content creation. You could even be making, writing out email sequences, and you could yes, even pick up the phone. But if it was that top important client, I would absolutely make sure that I do it during a good day and time. Okay? All right. So our choices on this would definitely be between 9 and 10:59 a.m. And then after that, I would be doing other things during that time. Now, you could also use, the hours if, because people will tell me all the time, but, well, Kathleen, I've already got something scheduled on that day. So what do I do? Well, find out what the meaning is for those particular hours. And you have choice. Try to reschedule the meeting if it's completely out of alignment of what you're trying to do, and or modify your behavior because we know that energy exists. So for those of you who absolutely cannot change an appointment, but if you can, you might even, or you may even say, okay, we'll have the appointment, but we're not going to try to close on this day because there might be too much disruption or something like that you need to be watching out for. So that's what I would be really taking note of. All right, now let's start speeding it up just a little bit. Now that we know how to follow one day, we're going to speed it up unless I see something that's really outstanding that you haven't seen before. Okay, now here's another excellent day. Same thing I want you to understand here. This is a little bit of inside information. Check out negative influences and where you see big spender. Please note, you can only use this on a green day. When it's just a white day, the big spender is you're going to spend money, and you're going to regret it because you're going to be burning your credit cards, or you're going to have disgruntled clients that are not so happy. So what I would say is when it's a green day positive to you, that big spender is a great time to either have a sale, put out a launch to somebody, to your clientele. That's where you're going to have your best opportunity for people to say, yeah, I think I do want that product, service, or program that they're offering. So that's where this can actually help you. So that's a little bit of inside information there, but it certainly can help you. An initiate day, which I said I would tell each and every day, this is going to be a day where you're going to want to start something on a good foundation. So what I suggest suggest everyone do at the top of every single month. Find out one thing that you can launch and do successfully within every month so we can bring cash flow to your business. Now, obviously, this is more if you own your own business, but nonetheless, even if you are working for someone, you could try to help them to do something on a monthly basis for them to make sure that they're doing, moving their business forward as well. Okay. Now, on this particular day, the other thing that we have is, as you can see, between the 3 and 6:59, we've got 2 stars for this particular person. It's going to be different. Now, this where we see all of the information, that's going to be the same. But on this particular day, yeah, it's a great day. But look, during typical business hours, there really isn't much going on. So yes, this is a day that I would send out maybe autoresponders during that time, especially if you have an international clientele. Their open rates are going to be higher on an international than it would be for you locally. So I would absolutely use those during that time. But during the time where most people are working 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever your normal business hours are, unless you're an entrepreneur, you're probably working all the time. But this is where you have to start being flexible. That day is, yes, it's a favorable day, but we do have some wobbleness in it. So we're going to have to be very careful about this particular day. So just understand what's there and available, and try to use the earlier hours while you're still sleeping to send out your autoresponders. Okay, now let's go to the 16th, where we have it's still a 4-star day for this particular person, but as you can see, there are no icons that are coming over. And I would have to say, for me, it is, and we have to deal with them, but for me, a destruction day is the one that I like the least. It really is very harsh. The only time I like to use a destruction day is for advising a date for demoing a property, a building to rebuild, because why? It takes it down to the ground. Well, that's great if that's what you want to do. But if you're using it for, if you really, really know that you want to get rid of something, it really is good to, it's a great bad habit buster. You could use it on that day, but I would prefer it still to be on a positive destruction day. When it's a negative or an unfavorable destruction day, this is the first white day that we're going to be seeing, so it's going to be unfavorable, and then the next layer down is a void. That's not the greatest, so we want to keep that in mind. But going back to this day, I do talk about this every single week, but this is a day, Fridays, not a destruction day. On Fridays, this is the day that I like to do my weekly planning. And it looks like I'm going to be doing it from 7 a.m. all the way to probably 9 o'clock. Because you know what? It does take me that long, personally, to plan out my week. Why? Because I am looking at my long-term goals, my midterm goals, and my short-term goals. So what I like to do is I like to look at the week that is just passed. It's Friday morning, and now I have the rest of Friday to, what's that, just that maybe 1 or 2 tasks that needed maybe an hour or 2 to get finished and accomplished. So I feel like I have kept my word, because I tell you what, I'm the type of person that if I say that I'm going to do something and I fail, I feel like I failed myself. And I don't like feeling that way. I like to move forward. I am a go-getter kind of personality, but I also like to have that balance of like, what is it that I can do to best serve, right? So if I haven't done that, I don't feel good about myself. So this is my buyback time day, is Fridays. So it's typically a lighter day as far as appointments and things like that, because I love to, and maybe that's why I'm so attached to the TimeBlazr. I love taking those tasks and just crossing them off my list. It makes me feel accomplished. I know that I'm getting things done. So this is what I do. I go back to my week and I look at each and every day and I look at, was this done or not? My task lists are probably a little bit too long, but I've got big, powerful goals. So what I do is I look at each day and I try to do it as impartially as possible. Does this need to go to next week or not? Or it's finished, don't even need to worry about it. It's done. It's the stuff that didn't get done that I have more angst about, if you will. So I look at it. Does it need to move to another time slot? As in, I need to get this done because I feel that it still has merit to finish. Some of the stuff is, what was I even thinking? I don't need to do that. I don't ever need to do that. Forget about it. Those are the things that are going to start weighing you down, that you then you're getting to the point where you get overwhelmed. This helps me unoverwhelm, or to get back into, I can feel like I have the space to do stuff. So I want you to feel the same way too. Try it out. See if Fridays work for you. And it would be a good day on that particular day, because it is a destruction day. I might be more apt to go, yep, I'm going to get rid of the things that I don't really need to get rid of. So this is where, on a day like today, what I want you to start thinking about is, now what I have to do, now here's a very different strategy. I have an unfavorable day. And here's that big spender. Stay away from online shopping, you guys. Oh my gosh, everything's going to look good and you're going to be like so sorry. It's going to be buyer's remorse. But between 7 and 10:59, no, irregardless of these stars, yes, the 9 to 10:59, you're going to have more for this person. You're going to have more benefit. And then again, between 5 and 6:59 p.m., there's a 2-star there. But this is where I would use every positive hour possible. And I am going to really say this with all sincerity. Even on a destruction day, you will get more done operating in those vibrant hours than when you are not in the vibrant hours. So this is where it can definitely help you. Okay. All right. Let's move forward again and let's get over to Saturday, back to a really lovely day. And I'm so happy about this because I've got a big day planned for this particular day. And it's a risk reward day. A risk reward day means that you have a pretty good idea. It is a bit risky to take this step. And it's also, you're going to get highly rewarded. Big risk, big reward. So if you know 99%, let's even say 90% sure that something's going to go into your favor, yes, I would definitely use it. On this particular day, during the 7 to 8:59, for this particular person, the best hour is not have a star on it. So that's unfortunate for this person, but hopefully yours will. Let's take a look at the 18th. So now we have a favorable success day. It's a wood horse day. I want to point out this day to you. It's a very interesting day because it is a direct clash with the year. It's the year of the metal rat and the wood horse. That combination is the one that definitely is going to be touched the most, because metal chops the wood and water puts out the fire. So it's the year that would be attacking this particular day. Some of you may even have a wood horse in your chart. Now, it's a clash, and I am not afraid of clashes. I created the TimeBlazr during a clash year, so I know with certainty that this is something that I want you to hear me out on. Now, you could kind of collapse and go, oh, it's a clash, that's bad, and no, it's just going to be awful. Or you can say, where can I find the opportunity in the disruption? So there's going to be an event on this day. So I'm going to see how that's all going to play out. But it's interesting that this particular day, how that's going to play out. So have a look at that as well. Success day, though, definitely a very, very good day for starting something with success. So even if you have a clash, don't be afraid of it. All right. All right, then our next day is going to be on October the 19th, and then we go back to an unfavorable day. It's a receive day. A receive day is about receiving, and that is anywhere from money. So if you're a little bit behind on your invoicing, this would be a great day for you to send it out. And if you are, definitely do it during a good hour in time. You don't want to send it out during times that you have unstable energy. But this is a day that it really isn't that vibrant because it is unfavorable. And so, again, the strategy when you come up with a day like this, you're going to have to use the areas that are like, for example, the 3 to 4:59 is a good time slot, as well as 7 to 8:50, or actually all the way to 10:59. So it's a little bit late, but you certainly could get some things done on that day as well. All right, and then we're going to finish up with a really nice, favorable open day. Open days are really great for opportunities, so we really love that. Here's that quick action that shows up again for you, so really happy that you'll have that. And then there's a bunch of different time slots that you can use here as well. I'm going to briefly show you some of the other filters on here, and what you need to do is go to the month view and go into this search area. And then on the search area, you could look for things like show me all my wealth days, or show me all the days that I have a little bit more power to lead, or resources. And by the way, all of these 5 structures can be found in your astrology chart. Right below your natal chart, it says 5 structures. It's that ring that goes around that just looks at the yin and yang of all the elements that you have in your chart. So with that said, it's going to start telling you, you have a certain energetics, and, you may not even have all of the 5 elements in your chart. So you want to try to find out where these all reside. Now, the activators are also a filter that you can do. Again, you go to the bottom of your chart where it says activators, mentors, wisdom, charisma, etc. So you can find them either through animals. They may be in your chart, which means you have a little bit of your own internal help, or you may need to find these from other people. Or when you're using the TimeBlazr, that's why we said, you have 100% choice. So let's say you want to, and I'm going to go with charisma. Charisma is used in a couple of different ways. One is used for dating, if you will, for having good date nights and things like that. I was asked at my annual event 2 years ago, not this year, but the year before, it was like, oh, Kathleen, I just love this TimeBlazr. Can we do a personalized one? And it was like, well, that would be retooling and re-engineering everything, but I can add to it. So I did. I listened to you and I added charisma. So, but guess what? Charisma is also very good for sales. So you may be in that really happy relationship and you don't need a good date night. Yes, you do. Believe me when I tell you. And then you also want to find out, good days to, sign some contracts or things like that, or get onto YouTube, whatever the case may be. So let's just hit search just to see what that looks like. It's processing and pulling up every single day that will be good for you to make these sales. Now, remember what I told you just a while ago, where the big spender on a green day is to your benefit because it's really great for sales. So look at the highest stars, highest level of green, highest number of icons, and then click on one of those days. And then for as long as you have the TimeBlazr, that's where these would be your best days to use. So again, you just click on it, takes you right to the day to make your choices there. Okay, there's a lot more, obviously, that the TimeBlazr has to offer, a lot, but I will let you come on in and check it out for yourself. But there's also a couple of other free resources that I want you to understand as well. So here's a couple of other places that I would like to send to you. For example, this is something that I've been doing for well over 2 years, and you can find my daily predictions on Facebook, my TimeBlazr, or the 5 Elements Group Facebook page. Go to my LinkedIn, Kathleen Zemansky. And what I do is I tell you about each and every day. I'm going to tell you the day before about how the day is going to be and then what's going to come up next, so that you'll have a little bit of an idea on a daily basis on what to do. And I'm even going to point out the good time slots for you. So there you go. That is one thing that I want to let you know about. Number 2, I am going to be doing on October the 23rd, I am going to be doing a virtual remove day. And these are going to be power hours where you're going to be, and by the way, this is Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Pacific. And this is one of my favorite days. Remember I told you I didn't really like destruction days? Well, I love remove days, because it is a day where I can power through getting through digital clutter. I can get through paper clutter. It's a day to archive files. If you want to, what I want you to do, because we're going to do this together, I will have a link. We're going to just post that link right after. But what I want you to do is I want you to find a 2-hour project that you can successfully complete in 2 hours. The last thing I want you to do is, I'm going to clean my entire office. Let's take it piece by piece. I want you to feel successful, and I want you to feel this vibration. So yes, it's going to be between 11:30 and 1:30 Pacific Standard, but you still can play along no matter what time frame that you're there. And I'm telling you, this is where that group energy starts to. So what I want you to do is I want you to start getting ready for it. I want you to figure out what projects you're going to be doing, get any materials that you need, like trash cans or donation boxes or whatever the case may be. I want you to get some healthy food that's already pre-made for you or is going to be delivered to you. So I don't want you to be stopping to take a lunch break, because we're going to be using these couple of hours to make space. When you remove something that no longer is relevant, serving you, it is only holding you back. It's going to cause procrastination. It's going to cause your mind to be kind of like the monkey minds. That we want you to breathe and make space. Okay, so I'm going to go through some exercises with you, but I need you to get prepared for that. It's absolutely free. So there's just try it. Come and get that done for yourself. October 23rd, it's a Friday. So that's a day that we're really going to rock and roll on that day. Okay. All right. So we'll get that link for you a little bit later. The other thing that I want you to know about, obviously, is the TimeBlazr trial. There's a lot of free things that I want to offer you today. So just step into them and say yes. All right. So it's free 30 time trial, and you will get 30 days of the TimeBlazr, absolutely no charge. No credit card is required at this time. And so if you want, I would highly recommend you getting started with this quicker than later. Then a little bit later today, I am going to continue October's Flying Star and Feng Shui forecast for the month of October. I go through each sector individually because I believe now more than ever your space is so important. So if you're using your space properly, that's only going to help you get more energy, more done, and really get yourself back into some sort of semblance of whatever the new norm is for you, because we're never going back, you guys. I hope you know that. So the quicker that you understand that, and I'm going to give you the tools to help you get along the way. All right. All right, and then, the last thing that I want to tell you about is my annual event. So here is the only time I'm going to ask you to invest in yourself today, and that is to get your tickets to the Metal Ox. That it is my annual event that I do, that I love doing. So I talked about at the very beginning how, the year of the rat has been tumultuous for so many people. Believe me, last time this year, starting in November, and I'm going to do it again this year too, get ready for the ox. I did it last year for the rat. I was talking about the rat at my annual event, about the super viruses we were going to be dealing with, and the mask and all that. I talked about that. So we know for certainty what next year's going to come. So why don't you step up and get what you need to run your successful business and life? So it's a 2-day live stream. We're only live streaming this year for the obvious. And all you need to do is go to bit.ly/metalox. That's all lowercase. And there's a link below. And I have extra early bird tickets ready for you right now. And it's going to be an amazing event. So I'm already working on that. My book is almost finished. That's going to be published about the Metal Ox. That will be available very, very soon, probably sometime in November. Late November is when that's going to come out. So we're getting ready for you. And so that's just the one thing that you need to do for yourself, and that is to go ahead and grab your tickets at bit.ly /metalox, and it's 11 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard each and every day. Okay, you guys, that's all I've got for you today, which was quite a bit, I know. So grab your TimeBlazr free trial. I'll see you a little bit later today when I do record. We're talking about the Southwest sector in the Feng Shui Flying Star piece for October. So I'll see you a little bit later, okay? Have an amazing day until I see you